Good afternoon, people. I have a very special guest in the building with me on the line is Brother Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson, must I say. How you doing, brother?
Good afternoon, sister. Thanks for having me on the show. Shout out to the entire Black North Carolina family.
Yes, a pleasure to have you on this afternoon. And I hear you're going to be coming to visit us in Durham on Tuesday, January 17th this year.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be at the Hayti Heritage Center at 804 Old Fayetteville Street, as you said, this coming Tuesday the 17th, 6 p.m. Doors open up at 4, and we're going to tackle a lot of different issues, but at the top of the list is the miseducation machine, the psychoacademic holocaust against Black boys.
Oh, yes. Well, we got a lot to talk about this afternoon, but first and foremost, why don't you introduce yourself to the people for those out there that may not be familiar with exactly who you are, Brother Umar?
Certainly. I'm Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm a doctor of clinical psychology. I'm a certified school psychologist as well as a certified school principal. I work here primarily in Pennsylvania, where I evaluate children for special education eligibility. I determine whether or not they have learning disabilities, autism, intellectual disability, ADHD, speech and language, deafness, blindness, traumatic brain injury. There's 13 federally defined special education disabilities that I'm responsible for diagnosing in whole or in part, and I qualify kids for special ed. Most of my work is fighting to educate our parents so they can understand exactly what special ed is and what special ed is not, because in the 21st century, it has become a trash can where Black boys are sent that nobody else wants to be bothered with, especially white middle-class female teachers who dominate America's teaching corps. I'm also author of the book Psychoacademic Holocaust, Special Education, and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, copies of which will be available next Tuesday at the Hayti Heritage Center. It's the only book written by a Black school psychologist to our parents specifically, teaching them about the miseducation machine and how they can effectively overcome it. I'm also founder of the National Independent Black Parent Association, which I will be talking about as well in Durham. We have our next conference in San Diego from the 27th to 28th, San Diego, California this month. We're hoping brothers and sisters from across North Carolina will make the trip to coming out and get that training from yours truly so they can come back to the different counties and cities and school districts across the good state of North Carolina to start these chapters to help organize our parents to fight back against academic racism.
Absolutely. Well, my first question for you this afternoon, brother, is the police brutality that we've seen, Dr. Umar, over the last couple years, the killings going on in Chicago right now. How do you think these things will continue to affect us as we move forward into 2017 with Trump's presidency and as he affects the lives of Black people in America? How do you think this is going to affect us as Black Americans?
Well, right before President-elect Trump won the election, the United Nations had a special panel that ruled that the United States of America owes Black people reparations and that the United States of America should pay Black people reparations. This was in October. It was kept quiet because obviously Barack Obama, not being a supporter of Black people, was not going to speak to it. And to me, having an unapologetically racist Republican president, I believe, benefits us to a small extent. Okay. Because him being president is not a benefit to Black people. However, from a political strategic standpoint, the fact that the UN just said we're entitled to reparations, and the fact that Obama's illusion of inclusion that kept Black people brainwashed and handcuffed away from dealing with racism for the past 8 years, and if you have an unapologetically racist president, we can now deal with racism as it is. We cannot deal with racism as it is under Obama because Black people saw the need to defend him, even if it meant the loss of lives of hundreds of Black people. So now we're back to the original America. We're back to Black people and white people. But let me say this, it's going to be a tougher struggle. It's going to be a much tougher struggle now because when Obama took office, we were the priority minority. It was Black and white. You had Latino, you had Arab, you had Asian, you always had that, but we were still the priority minority when it came to political conversation. Thanks to Barack Obama and thanks to ignorant Black people all across America, 40 million of us who kept our mouths shut to make sure Obama had a safe presidency as opposed to defending the lives of people like Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland. Now we're no longer the minority, the priority minority. We're now the minority of the minorities. Now, thanks to Obama and black people, homosexuals are a more important agenda issue than black people. Immigrants are a more important agenda issue than black people. White women are a more important agenda issue than black people. Now, we're actually worse off than we were when Obama took office, because now you got to fight to reclaim your priority minority status.
Wow. Deep.
And this is why when I tell people that the Obama presidency was not innocent, you have a lot of politically uneducated black people who were crying last night after they heard the Obama farewell speech, where he did talk to race, but he did nothing about it for 8 years. Of course you can talk to racism, your last message to the public, because you're not going to do anything about it. And what about political weaknesses as a people? We are content just having politicians speak to our reality. No one else is content with speech. Most people want action. Black people are content with speech. Mm-hmm. And because we're content with speech, all you have to do is speak to our reality, and that's enough for us to be loyal to you. And so because Obama did nothing for black people, we created a precedent. We created a precedent where no other president in American history ever again has to take black issues seriously, because black people allowed Obama not to take them seriously.
Now, that was Brother Umar Johnson, and you can check him out. He will be in Durham at the Hayti Heritage Center on the 17th. That's next Tuesday. And again, these are not our opinions. This is the opinion of Dr. Umar Johnson. And whether you know him or not, he is very, very popular in the cultural community. And he will be doing his thing live, broadcasted live this Tuesday, January 17th at the Hayti Heritage Center. Okay, so if you're interested in coming out and hearing more on what he has to say, and if you do not agree with what he has to say, maybe you need to come out and ask some questions and counter some of what he has to say, and with your opinion as well. All right. Again, this is not the opinion of Choice FM. This is the opinion of Brother Umar Johnson, and we respect everything and everyone's opinion over here. So we do give everyone a platform to be able to speak their mind and come in and say whatever it is they have to say. He does have a book on sale as well. So if you don't know this brother, look him up, follow him, Google him. That's Dr. Umar Johnson. All right. And again, you can check him out at the Hayti Heritage Center in Durham on January 17th. I got more coming up for you right here on the People Station. Of course, we are Choice FM 9210 and 98.3.
Taking over like N1. Wake Forest. Gas now has choice.